When you think about businesses that are selling through the roof, like Aloe or Allbirds, sure, you think about a great product, a cool brand, and great marketing. But an often overlooked secret is actually the businesses behind the business, making selling, and for shoppers, buying, simple. For millions of businesses, that business is Shopify. Nobody does online business better than Shopify. It's home of Shop Pay, the #1 checkout in the world. You can use it to boost conversions up to 50%, meaning way less carts going abandoned and way more sales going through to checkout. Sign up for your $1 per month trial period at shopify.com/income, all lowercase. Go to shopify.com/income to upgrade your selling today. That's shopify.com/income.
Welcome to The Planted Runner. I'm Coach Claire Bartholic. It goes without saying that if you want to get better at something, you should practice. Actors practice their lines until they know them by heart. Dancers rehearse their choreography until it's second nature. And runners practice running their goal pace as often as they can so they know they'll be able to run that pace on race day. I'm not an actor or a dancer, but for runners, that's actually a terrible idea. But I see it happening all the time. As counterintuitive as it may seem, your goal-paced runs, also known as race-specific workouts, should not be done as much as possible. In fact, there is a very specific timing, reasoning, and design of those goal-paced runs that you're going to want to follow if you want to run your very best on race day. If you're a marathoner training for a fall race and you're running goal marathon-paced workouts in July, you're doing it wrong. Let's explore a better way. Welcome to The Planted Runner. I'm Coach Claire Bartholic, and my mission is to help you improve your running, your mindset, and your life with science-backed training and plant-based nutrition. In today's episode, we are going to talk about race-specific workouts from the 5K to the marathon. We'll go over why the timing of race-specific workouts matters, why and how to plan workouts that focus on overall fitness instead, and when to narrow your focus so you peak exactly on race day. I'll also give you some examples of my favorite race-specific workouts for each distance. This is a topic that will probably bust a lot of common myths out there. Whether you are brand new to racing or you're a veteran runner looking for ways to sharpen up your fitness at exactly the right time, this is the episode for you and your running buddies. So share it with them. Don't forget to stay tuned all the way to the end of the episode for another Mental Strength Minute. Fortify your mind in 60 seconds or less. But before we begin, have you taken a moment to write a quick Apple Podcast review? I get so many messages every week about how helpful this podcast has been to runners all over the world. But what actually makes it possible for me to do this work is positive reviews and subscribers. I hate to even ask this, but the algorithm must be fed, and I'd love for you to share what you think. It's simple, it's free, and it makes all the difference. So subscribe, follow, and write a review today. I sincerely thank you. I know that it's going to seem a little strange to think that you should hold off practicing the exact thing you're going to be doing on race day. I mean, shouldn't a 5K runner be running 5K workouts, a 10K runner running 10K workouts, and a marathoner marathon-paced workouts? Well, yes. And if you were a robot programmed to get better and better at one specific task, that's exactly what you should do. But I'm going to assume that everybody listening is actually human, and we are built with the process of adaptation. Instead of simply getting better and better at a task, we struggle, get better, and then, unless we change the stimulus, we stall. The whole concept of race specificity is based on our ability to adapt, but also on the fact that this ability is limited. In general, you will adapt to a new training stimulus in 4 to 6 weeks. That means if you're filling your calendar with marathon-paced workouts in July, attempting to get ready for October, your timing is going to have you peaking in August or September instead of on race day. Now, I'm not going to tell you that you should just skip your running workouts and go sign up for a month of Zumba classes to prepare for the Chicago Marathon. You definitely want to be doing mostly running. But your July training shouldn't look like what you'll be doing in September. What you should be doing now is increasing your overall fitness by becoming a generalist. That means you want a nice big base of easy running and a sprinkle of what I like to call kitchen sink workouts. I'll get to the kitchen sink a little later, but let's spend some time on what you should be spending most of your time doing first for any long distance runner. And that is easy aerobic running. An easy run is not always going to be easy, especially in the heat of the summer. And for some people, it's not always going to be a run. It's an effort that is so slow that you can talk as easily as you can walking. You should be able to sing out loud or argue with your favorite podcaster. You should be able to close your mouth and breathe for several minutes just out of your nose. This effort might not feel easy when you are cranky or tired or sore or if it's too hot out. This might be a pace that you feel embarrassed about when you post it on Strava or compare it with your running friends. This might be a pace that feels awkwardly slow because you're used to running in the medium zone all the time. You might need to walk every 5 minutes for a minute to stay in this conversational zone. The aerobic zone means with oxygen. You have all the oxygen to run and breathe just as easily as walking. And this is where the magic happens. When you are running so easy that your body feels like you're walking, you have become more efficient at all the processes you need to run well. Your heart, your lungs, your muscles, your mitochondria, and more are getting so good at the basics that they're better prepared when you turn up the intensity. Not only are you becoming a better runner with a good base of aerobic running, but you're also able to use easy runs as recovery from harder runs, instead of needing a day of rest from your previously too fast easy run, which really wasn't that easy after all. Your aerobic base of running is typically going to be about 80% of your running, no matter what part of the cycle you're in. This is going to vary a bit, of course, but it really is the most important thing that you are doing in training. The aerobic system is also the most dominant energy system by far that you're going to be using on race day, from the 800 meters all the way up to ultra marathons. So if you do nothing else, this is it. But of course, I'm not actually suggesting that you do nothing else but jog. I'll explain everything else that you should be doing and when to get race specific right after a short break. But first, I want to tell you about a unique opportunity for you to get stronger, faster, and stay motivated to hit your running and nutrition goals this year, and that is to join the PR team. I started it in 2022, and I have to tell you, it's even better than I imagined. Each member of the team gets a custom training plan made by me for you based on your unique fitness goals and lifestyle. Everything you need to achieve your running dreams is included, such as strength training, recovery, and even cross training if you wanted. I include weekly mental strength training as well, and training tips and nutrition guides. But here's where it gets really cool. The group has its own page in the app where we share workouts, ask training questions, and get feedback from me and the other teammates. And each week I create an exclusive private podcast just for the team, based on the questions I get and what I see in their training each week. And I usually end up sharing behind the scenes and exclusive sneak peeks with the team that I don't share anywhere else. So instead of joining some Facebook group or sitting through another Zoom call, you get to listen to tailored advice on the run, and you don't have to do all of this alone. If you are ready to take your running to the next level and join an amazing team of runners just like you, head to theplantedrunner.com/group and join us today. It's more affordable than you think, and I can't wait to have you. The Planted Runner is sponsored by Liquid IV. I know most runners dread summer running, but I've got to tell you, I love it. The long days, the lack of layers of gear, it's just my favorite. But of course, I make it a priority to stay hydrated, and this year, that means Liquid IV. Summer is the perfect time to try their new Arctic raspberry flavor. Plus, Liquid IV has sugar-free solutions powered by Live Hydra Science for smart hydration. You can pre-hydrate before your run, add a stick to your bottle to carry with you, and naturally, you'll want to have it to add to ice-cold water after your run. Just one stick and 16 ounces of water hydrates better than water alone. Squeeze the most out of your summer with Liquid IV. Tear, pour, live more. Go to liquidiv.com and get 20% off your first order with code PLANTED at checkout. That's 20% off your first order with code PLANTED at liquidiv.com. Welcome back to The Planted Runner. I'm Coach Claire Bartholic. We all want to be our best on race day, and to have the best chance of that, we need to plan our training so we don't peak too soon, too late, or not at all. There is a rhythm to a well-planned race training cycle that looks like an inverted pyramid. We want to start out as generalists, gradually narrowing down our focus so we are pointy sharp on race day. Besides building our big base of aerobic running, we want to throw the kitchen sink at our speed workouts before we get into our race-specific phase. That means marathoners should do some 5K work or even mile-paced work. 5K runners might work on half marathon pace and VO2 max. Basically, you should be doing a little bit of everything to build the things you will be neglecting once you get to race-specific work. Your goal at this point is to build your overall running fitness as high as possible. You'll want to focus on a range of components to boost aerobic fitness, lactate threshold, VO2 max, and neuromuscular development. Somewhere in the range of 4 to 8 weeks before your race is the time to start getting specific. This is a big range, I know, but there is a lot of variability in individual adaptation rates. Some people can get sharpened up pretty quickly, but perhaps also start to stagnate sooner, while others thrive with a longer, more gradual phase. If you're not sure which one you are, split the difference and plan for 6 weeks. Once you get into the specific phase, you are mostly working on exactly what you need to meet the demands of that particular distance. So I'll warn you that you will be losing a bit of fitness at the other distances. A 5K runner is getting really good at speed endurance, but that's likely sacrificing the aerobic fitness needed for the half marathon. A marathoner is getting really great at stamina, but is going to be off her game at the speed of the 5K. This is why you might be a little disappointed if you schedule a very different distance tune-up race in the race-specific phase of your goal race. You're getting really good at one thing, which means you're giving up something else right now. It's all about priorities, isn't it? Now let's take a look at specific race-specific workouts from the 5K to the marathon. While they are all quite different, the one thing they do have in common is a progression that gradually gets more challenging. The paces are all at goal race pace, but the distances and the rest times can be changed to get increasingly harder as your fitness grows. For the 5K, the main skill you are working on is speed endurance. You've got to run really fast for 3.1 miles. In your race-specific phase, you'll be doing 5K pace in small, manageable chunks, broken up with short jogging rests. The jog keeps the run continuous and keeps you from getting full recovery, which you won't be getting at all on race day. For example, you might be doing 10 or 12 reps of 400 meters at 5K pace with a 100-meter jog in between. It will feel too easy at the beginning, but I promise it'll get tough by the end. The 10K has a lot in common with the 5K since it's a pretty hot race, but you need to hold it for twice as long. Your workouts will be slower, but your intervals should be longer. A great 10K specific workout is 5 times 1 mile at 10K pace with a slow 1-minute jog in between. Don't make the mistake of running the first rep too hard, or you will pay for it later. Moving up to the half marathon, the demand shifts to increased leg durability and the ability to keep your lactate levels from rising higher than you can clear it for 13.1 miles. A great half marathon workout would be 2 or 3 sets of 2 or 3 miles at half marathon pace with a half mile or a mile of jogging in between sets. Finally, when we get to the marathon, we get to the point where we can't truly be specific. This is because the demands of the marathon are so challenging that we are better off simulating the effort than replicating it. Truly mimicking the marathon effort would cause more harm than good and would disrupt training too much that we need a better way. Instead of relying on one race-specific workout a week, marathoners should be looking at how each of the runs in the week are adding to the fatigue and that dead leg feeling that you'll get on race day. This is also why I recommend running the day before your long runs, so you're not running on fresh legs, exactly what you'll experience in the final miles of the marathon. My favorite race-specific workout was made famous by the Hanson brothers, former coaching team of Olympian and Boston Marathon winner Des Linden. It's called the 2x6, which could be modified to the 2x5 for some runners. After a mile or two warm-up, you'll run 5 or 6 miles at marathon pace. In between sets, you sit down and you call your mother like you know you should. Okay, you don't have to call your mom, but you do need to sit or stand around and do nothing for 10 minutes. No walking, no jogging. While you might be grateful for the break at first, what all this sitting does is cool you down and make you feel ready for the couch. The rest break is a clever way to simulate running harder and longer without actually doing it. If you can nail the second set just as well as you did the first, it says a lot about your marathon fitness. And of course, don't forget to add a cool down mile or two at the end. What all these race-specific workouts have in common is that they should be part of your overall running strategy, balanced with easy runs and an appropriate long run for you and the distance. And they should also be timed in the last 4 to 8 weeks before your big day. That way, you are starting with the highest level of fitness you can and then adapting to your specific race demands right on time. And now it's time for the Mental Strength Minute. Fortify your mind in 60 seconds or less. Today's topic is visualize your finish line feelings. So often we are focused on a goal finishing time. We see that round number in our heads without even trying to. Instead of picturing the number, try to imagine what you will feel like when you cross the finish line, because that is the real thing you are pursuing. Will it be pride, relief, joy? Will you feel strong, like you trained your best, but you know you could have given more? Or will you feel absolutely spent, knowing that you left it all out there? Or maybe you're picturing disappointment. It's normal to want to run a certain number because it validates all of our hard work, but ultimately, it's more about how we want to feel at the end of the race that we are chasing the most. Think about what you want to feel and then imagine all the scenarios you can that will make that feeling happen. Thank you for listening to The Planted Runner, part of the Evergreen Podcast Network. Don't forget that you can enter to win a free custom training plan for your next race and get featured on the show. Just write an Apple Podcast review and enter at theplantedrunner.com/PRLab. Of course, reviews are the #1 way to boost this show's reach, and it's a great way to tell me what you'd like to hear next because I read every single one. Have a great run today.